Could your business use an additional $25,000? Are you a member of Navy Federal? If so, this is the perfect video for you because I'm going to show you not just data points, step by step, how you can get approved for this card and how I got approved for this card. So join me on the computer and I'm going to show you step by step how to get approved for the Navy Federal Go Biz Rewards card in 2024. Now, for full transparency, I was approved for the Navy Federal Go Biz Rewards card, and I was approved for $15,000. I do plan on submitting a request for a credit line increase within the next 91 days. I believe you can do it within 30 days, but I'm just going to wait the 91. That way I can get some usage out of it before I make that request. So I'm just going to probably put like on the screen somewhere the approval. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing you need to do in order to qualify for the Navy Federal Go Biz Rewards card is set up an account with Navy Federal. If you are not a member and you would like me to make a video on other ways that you can become a member, then I will do that as well. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would like to see. Now, I received an access code from one of my friends who allowed me to become a member. Once I did that, the first thing I did was open up a easy checking account, a flagship checking account, a savings account. After I made these 3 accounts, the very next thing that I did was get a in reward secured card. And then I also got the pledge loan for $501. If you do $501, then you can have the pledge loan for 12 months. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying there are different ways to approach getting this card depending on where you are in your credit repair journey or if you have prime credit. So in my instance, when I first started with Navy Federal, I was rebuilding credit. I had a lot of charge-offs, a lot of collections. My credit score was sub 600, so somewhere in the 500s. So if this sounds like your situation, I'm going to give you the steps that I took in that situation. If you have a fair credit score, but you don't have any derogatory marks, I'll give you that scenario. And if you have prime credit, I'll give you that scenario. So let's just start with what I originally started with. I started with easy checking, flagship, savings, in rewards, secured card. And I also started with the pledge loan, $501. You can pretty much do this all within like a 2 or 3 day time span. So I wouldn't even overthink it. With this, I'm going to be under the assumption that you are already a member as we're doing this. So let's go under the guise that you're already a member with Navy Federal or you have the ability to become one at this moment. All right. If you have subprime credit, I will follow those steps that I took. If you have fair credit, like you're below a 650, but you're probably above like a 630 and you have no derogatory marks, I would still do everything I just said, but I would change one thing. Sorry, I'm going to just go right here. So this was the in reward secure card. When I got this card, I got it because I went to pre-qualify and I could not get any other credit card. I would go to the pre-qualify me section on Navy Federal before you get the in rewards card. Check if they pre-qualify you for any other credit card. I now have a cash rewards card. I now have a Go rewards card. I received both of those cards prior to me getting the business credit card. So if you're fair credit, no derogatory marks, no collections, no anything like that, and you're above a 630, right around that range, go to the pre-qualify me section and have them pre-qualify you for something else. You may get a cash rewards card. You may get something else. Go rewards. You may get something else. If you get that, cool. Get that card instead of the in reward secure card and do the pledge loan. Same checking accounts, same savings account. If you have prime credit, a lot of this won't apply to you. If you're a 750 or above, I would just open an account with Navy Federal. I would still do the flagship checking account. I would still do the savings account. You don't necessarily need to do the credit card or the pledge loan. The more products you have, the more you build up your internal score. But with a score like that, you don't need to do it. I don't see that as being something that you need to do. Would it hurt? No, but not necessarily anything that's, I would recommend for you. You don't have to do that. Now with the secured card, I did the deposit of $200. It was very, very easy. I put it in my savings account. I called Navy Federal. They went ahead and took it from my savings, and then that was my credit line. With the pledge loan, I put $501 in my savings account. They take it from your savings account, and then they put it back into your checking. You get the money back, but then you'll also see the pledge loan. I paid 90% of that loan, so I paid about $450. And when you pay it, they put the money back into your account again. So a pledge loan is really just you transferring funds around. You don't really have to worry about that. You could even use the same money from the pledge loan, do the pledge loan, pay the $450 on 501, and then take 200 from that and use that for the secure card. You could just move the money around and shuffle it and do the same thing. You only get the money back for the InReward secure card. You only get that back after 6 months at least. I think they can graduate you earlier. It took me 1 year to graduate. Now, these are just some prerequisites that I'm recommending because I know everyone's at a different point in their situation with trying to get this business credit card. So I just want to make sure I touch everybody. Okay. I hate to always deviate from the point, but I just want to tell you, this is what I did. This is exactly what I did. After I did all of this and set up these Navy Federal products, the next thing I did was open up a business membership. So become a business member and get started. This process for me was very, very easy. You want to gather all your information before you start the business membership application. When you start the application, they're going to ask you for some documents. Let's actually go to this, and we'll go to right here to our business solution facts. So what documentation do I need to submit with my application? So for business, the business solutions require your structure for your business. For me, it was my business license. I went to irs.gov and got my EIN number. So if you're familiar with creating a business and filing that information with the Secretary of State, you need to get a EIN number. You have to get a business license. And then they say that you need a certificate of good standing. But for the state that I'm in, I just went to my Secretary of State website, search for my business, and screenshot it as my certificate of good standing. It shows that the business is active. So the documents, they vary by the business type. I never create LLCs. I only create corporations. That's just my preference. So if you have a corporation, they want the good standing certificate filed stamped within 60 days before date of application. Again, I just did a screenshot from my Secretary of State website. It showed that my business was valid. You're going to need your federal tax ID. When you start a business, you should already have this, and you'll have those documents. The beneficial owner form. If you're the 100% owner of this, then just yourself. And the fictitious name certificate is if you had it. That's just if it's applicable. I didn't even need that. Now, I would say the most common business that people use is probably an LLC. So for LLC, certificate of good standing, again, with your state, it depends. I went to the Secretary of State website, screenshot your federal tax ID, and then the beneficial owner. So same documentation you would need for a corporation, and then so on and so forth. You guys could take a look at this and see where you would fall under your particular business type. And then this is what you would want to do. And it tells you some information about what a beneficial owner is. How does Navy Federal collect this information? So you can go here and read through. Once I collected all this information, they're going to have you start a to-do list. where you're going to be uploading all this information. You're going to upload all this information. It's fairly easy, guys, super quick. Once that information is uploaded, you're going to call this number, 1-877-418-1462, within 2 business days after you've uploaded your documents. Now, I do a lot of research. I've seen videos where some people said that it took them, you should wait 30 days before you apply for the business account. Just so you know, I did mine within 2 days. I opened up my account with Navy Federal, right? I did everything that I told you about, the pledge loan, the in rewards, the secure card. And then I set up my direct deposit, of course, for Navy Federal. And then right after that, I did this online and I submitted all my documentation. The phone call is about 1 hour. So right here, it lets you know, review your application and documents with our representatives. Please be mindful that the review process can take an hour. So that review process is as follows. They will ask you for your NACIS code, or you may know it as like the SIC code, your business type. I had a website. They asked me for the website. They reviewed the website. They wanted to know what my business did, how we made profit. You know, they just want to check your business address. They're going to ask you if it's a virtual address. They said that that's okay. So all this was done. It took about 1 hour, just like they're saying here. And you need to be prepared to fund your business membership. So the minimum amount required to open your account will be $250 to $255. And this amount should be available for transfer from your personal Navy Federal account through a non-Navy Federal debit or credit card. So it's pretty straightforward, guys. It doesn't take long to apply for this account. Again, you could do this all within like 2 or 3 days. If you have Prime credit 750 or above, you can open your checking account, your savings account. I recommend all 3, the easy, the flagship, and the savings. And then you can go ahead, wait for your online account to be active. And then you can go to this page, business membership, get started, follow these steps to start an application, right? You're going to just go to start the application. And when you go to start the application, you have to sign. When you go to start the application, you have to sign into the Business Solutions portal in order for you to even see it. But what will happen is you sign into your personal account, you go to start the application, and then it's going to bring you to the Solutions portal. And then once you get to the portal, that's when it's going to ask you to upload all the documentation that we just went over. All right. So just so that I can bring everything back together. At this point, subprime people, the people who are rebuilding, we've gotten that secure card, we've gotten that checking savings account, we've gotten that pledge loan. Our mid-tier people, fair credit people with no collections and no derogatory marks. You're going to do the same thing, but you're going to pre-qualify for a different credit card just in case you can get the cash rewards or the go rewards and save yourself that secure deposit. And for our prime people, you just set up the checking accounts, the savings, and then you can go right on ahead to this step. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when I originally joined Navy Federal, I applied for this credit card before. I had just gotten my credit score to a 600, right around that range, and I still had derogatory marks. I still had collections and charge-offs. I applied for this card. They pull from your Experian credit score. Personal TransUnion credit cards pull personal credit cards from Navy Federal pull from TransUnion. The business pulls from Experian. Just keep that in mind. When I did it, I was denied. When I was denied, I received a response telling me I had too many delinquent accounts. So that's why I'm saying it's not that you wouldn't qualify if you have those delinquent accounts, but you're going to have to do more relationship building first. That's why for you guys, I recommend the pledge loan. That's why for you guys, I recommend the in rewards card, direct deposit. And then I would even set up a direct deposit for your business account. Even if it's just $25 every 2 weeks, I would just put some money in there. You do that for 6 months, improve your credit score, and then you can go back and take a look and see if you can qualify. Now, in my case, I don't know if you can qualify if you have any derogatory marks. I do know that with Navy Federal, it's all about relationship building. That's one of the major keys. So if you have improved your credit score enough and you've also gotten these products with them, it will just increase your chances of getting qualified for this credit card. At the time that I qualified for this business credit card, I had no derogatory marks. I had no collections, and my credit score was a 762. So I just want to have you guys keep that in mind. So once you've started that business account, this is the Go Biz Rewards credit card, right? Once you started it, you can start the application here. So before I go on, I'm going to tell you a few data points about my personal business. Again, it was a corporation. When I applied for this card the first time, my corporation was only open for around 8 months. When I applied for it the second time, my corporation was open around 1 year and 7 months. And I believe I did this on February the 6th of 2024. So I just got this account. This is fairly new. Now, I will say for this card, I received the 14.4% APR variable. There is no annual fee. It's a 1x point per dollar spent. So for people who have a lot of other business credit cards, this is not the greatest rewards card. But hey, if you need funding, it's good to get started. This card is available in a Visa or a MasterCard. Once you go to the start an application point, you will be given the option of choosing between a Visa or a MasterCard. There is no earnings cap on this card. But again, it's basically 1 point per dollar spent. So it's like 1%. So it's not the best rewards, but it's better than nothing. There's no foreign transaction fees. It's great for travel and expenses, and zero liability policy for unauthorized charges. Okay. So I did get approved for the MasterCard. That's the one that I chose. My business again opened 1 year and 7 months. I did build some business credit, but I don't think that was an important factor when it came to qualifying for this card. I think the two most important factors is having a fair credit score. I had less than 3 inquiries, only 2 inquiries at the time. And I'm sorry, I had 1 inquiry at the time, only 1. But I would say 3 or less would actually be good. I would say have at least a 680 credit score without a relationship. If you have below a 680, then I would say build the relationship first, especially if you have collections or derogatory marks. You definitely want to build that relationship with them first. Other than that, I think it's pretty straightforward. And that's really all that I had with a business. I believe you could get this card with a brand new business as long as it's structured properly. When I say structured, I mean you have a website, you have a Google profile where this business can be found. You get your number in the white pages and yellow pages online. Believe me, that still matters. You have a business number for this line. You have a virtual address. I actually started doing a course on starting a business, and I'm going to be starting a new business within the next probably 4 weeks. When I start this new business, I'm going to document the entire process, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put it on YouTube or if it's going to be like a course that you can get from my website, successwithstevensmith.com. So just keep an eye out for that. But I'm going to be doing a lot more videos when it comes to business credit cards and getting business funding. So this is the first of many more to come. So let's go to start the application. And we're going to go to single owner unless you're a multi-owner business, but I'm a single owner business. So I'm going to sign in to apply here. I was able to sign in with ease, so that is good. Right now I have the screen like covered slightly because I'm concealing my business name, but this was the process. The process was application, underwriting, it was approval, closing, and then booked. So it lets you know application, you completed the loan application, it's been received, and monitor your to-do list, right? Underwriting, review of the application and supporting documentation. The loan will be decisioned once it's determined that the application is complete. Approval, closing, and booked. So this is the process. I applied on February the 6th. I was approved on February the 9th, and I was able to see the account in my online business portal on February the 12th. And on February 13th, the account was booked, and then it showed booked and closed by the 13th. All right. So the entire process was, I would say 7 days. It could probably take 7 to 10 days. But for me, like, 5, 6 days really. Not, with the weekend. So I did start a process that I was going to show you guys. And I didn't want to go much further. So it's an incomplete application that's going to expire within 48 hours. Now it's showing my business information here, so I'm going to have to conceal that. But and I'm not going to go any further because at some point they do the hard inquiry and my information just seems to auto populate. So I'm not going to go any further than this, but this is the business visa application. I already have the MasterCard, so this is the Visa one. So card application, your business, where they're just going to ask for your business details. It's going to auto populate right here. Again, I probably have this concealed right now. I can see it, but you'll see your business information. Then the electronic communications, they just some information that they're going to want you to confirm. Beneficial ownership, that's when you're going to put if you're 100% or if this business is split between two different owners. Your card information. They're just going to ask you where do you want the card sent to, and it'll probably be, I think it only gives you the option for the address on file, which should be your business address. Your personal income and housing, that's where they're going to ask you for how much money you make as an individual and your housing expenses. Now for the amount that I put, it was over 100,000. But again, I'm not sure if that actually is applicable. It just depends. But you can also do like, under 100. I would just put what your personal income is, because I really don't know any data points that it would be for that. But I'm just telling you, for me, I put above 100,000 for the personal income. For your business income, they're going to ask you if your business makes less than $1 million per year. And if you fall into that category, then that's what you're going to choose. And and your certifications and disclosures, again, some things that they're going to get you to confirm. Your certification of organization, that's where they're just going to confirm that your business is in good standing, and you just confirm that information. You're going to have an electronic signature with your first name, last name, and I believe your initials. You're going to review and then submit. After that next step, basically it's the process that we had discussed before, which is you have to wait for it to go through that status of application, underwriting, approval, and then that booking one. So we're going to go through that process. Again, it should take about, for me, it was like 3 days to know that I was approved. It took about 5 to 6 days to actually see the account on my online portal. And it took about 7 days for that account to be completely, that whole entire application to be booked, which it's now online and it's completely closed and we're done. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you're a member of Navy Federal and you have this card or you recently applied for this card, please put that down in the comments. Let me know what you were approved for. For me, again, I was approved for 15,000, and that was with again 762 credit score, no derogatory marks, no collections, no charge-offs, and I only had one inquiry at the time that I applied, and my business was open for 1 year and 7 months. Again, I don't think that's applicable. I just think your business needs to be structured, which if you were able to get the business checking account, then I believe that your business is structured. And I think that that's all you need, man. If you have a decent credit score, 680 or above, you're good to go. Below that, with no derogatory marks, like below a 680 680, but maybe like that 630 to like 660 range, I would just get a couple products and then I would go and apply. And if you are subprime with the credit, I would get the in rewards card, and then I would get the pledge loan, and I would make some deposits. Wait until your credit is cleaned up a bit, maybe wait 6 months, and then go apply for the card. Worst case scenario, I have a video that you've probably seen of how to remove the hard inquiries. This credit card does not show up on your personal credit. It doesn't show up on your business credit. Some people don't like that. For me and what I do with credit, that's perfect because the utilization doesn't get reported. So it won't affect you if you used 80% of the credit balance. It won't affect your business credit. So for me, I don't see that as a problem. In fact, that's the reason why I got the card in the first place. I don't see any advantage of the rewards for this card. There are much better cards with rewards. American Express has a lot of good cards. Chase has better business cards, but just the fact that it doesn't report on your business credit or your personal credit was an advantage to me to have that extra 25,000. I mean, I think, well, 15,000, but I'll get to 25. But to me, that was an advantage. I thought that was actually a pretty good thing. I'm trying to think other than that, if there was anything else that we need to go through. But I think that is everything. So if you guys have any additional questions, if I missed anything, if you think that there was some step that maybe I overlooked, please let me know in the comments so that I can clarify anything for you, or any other questions that you have. You guys know I'm very responsive. I'll answer as many questions as possible. Usually I'm doing some work in between, but if you email me, if you leave a comment, if you DM me, I usually respond fast. I think my fastest responses will come from the comments more than it'll come from any other medium. So please leave a comment, like and share and subscribe. And I want to see you guys get $25,000 in business funding, please. So start these applications, start the process, and I want to see it. Let me know. Thank you for everything, and you guys have a wonderful day.